Am I the butthole for telling my sister to stop using the word family on me like it's supposed to mean something? As stated in a prior post, I was kicked out at 15 for being gay. From 15 to 35, I had no contact with my family. Over the years, they have somehow managed to work their way back into my life. Only in a small capacity. My sister, who is younger than me, called earlier and asked what me and my husband were doing for Thanksgiving. I told her that it was just us and that we were just going to have a nice dinner and probably watch TV for the night. And go to bed early. She told me that she was having dinner and that we need to show up. I told her thank you, but this was the first set of holidays in 10 years that I didn't have to host, and I was planning on staying home and just putting on a fresh pair of pajamas after a shower and not going anywhere. She then asked about Christmas and I told her the same thing. She then asked when it would be a good time to get together. I told her point blank that I wasn't all that interested given our history and that I was perfectly happy with how things were at this point. This was when she got pissed off and started to yell at me, saying that I need to start acting more a part of the family and that I need to let go of the past. She told me that we as family need to try and bridge the gap and move forward in a positive way. I told her no, we don't. We hardly know each other. We are very much strangers. I also told her she needs to stop throwing the word family around like it is supposed to mean something to me. When we started to talk again when I was 35, when our dad died, her and my brother constantly berated me and told me that I need to just let them deal with everything that needed to be done. I never disagreed with them. I told them that they could handle it. I was berated when our mother was sick for not visiting her in the hospital or when she was home. I really don't have much of a relationship with my mom, and she is a pretty good stranger as well, so it didn't really matter. I threw everything back in her face. Before we hung up, she reminded me that it wasn't my husband's blood that runs through my body. And blood is thicker than water. I told her no. My husband's blood did not in fact run through my body. But his semen did, and that was close enough. I thought my husband was going to wet his pants. So am I the butthole for telling my sister to stop using the word family like it means something? Edit. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are all having a great day. First, I wanted to say thank you for all the responses, awards, and everything else in between. This has been completely insane. I never thought this would go so far. I have tried to read every single response, but there are so many that it will take hours to get through them all. I wanted to do this edit to fill in some blanks, so to speak. When I was kicked out, I was 15 and my sister was 8. So she did not have anything to do with what happened. But she had every opportunity to find me after a certain point. When she was 16 and had her own car, she could have come find me. When she was 18 and on her own, she could have come to find me. She never did. When our dad died, it was a friend of mine who talked me into going so that I could maybe find some kind of peace with what happened all those years ago. She and another friend went with. My husband, boyfriend at the time, had to work and couldn't get the time off. Initially, I was greeted with surprise and thank you for coming. But then with hostility from my sister and brother. If they for a minute thought I was out to get something from them or our dad's estate, they were wrong. I wanted nothing. And to this day I still don't. My siblings have always told me what my place in the family is. Which is basically I'm window dressing. I have been told that I have no business in knowing anything about the family finances, family affairs, or anything. I think that they are afraid that I could potentially take something that they want or are supposed to get. A couple of weeks ago, my mom asked me to read over some financial paperwork that she didn't understand. Reluctantly, I agreed, but once my sister found out, she screamed at me for putting my nose into areas that I don't belong. I told my mom not to ask me for anything again because I will not be involved. I have been asked a few times why I do keep in contact with them. The answer is because it's my way of keeping ahead of them. I do not voluntarily make contact with them. I have no reason to. I keep my Facebook locked down to the point that I don't show my city, my job, my phone number, nothing. But I can see all of their stuff. This works because they post a lot, and if I see that they are having problems with whatever the case may be, then I can work to make sure that if they ask for something I cannot answer or just ignore them altogether. Plus, it does give an open avenue for communication in the event of a major emergency. Plus, maybe I still hold on to a hope that they will, maybe at some time they will actually apologize. But I don't see that ever being the case. I have been asked if my mom has ever apologized. No, she has not. And she never will. She is from a generation where parents don't apologize to their kids. Because that would mean they did something wrong. She is from a generation where kids were to be seen and not heard. I guess it comes down to this. My family has formed this dynamic that I will never be a part of or want to be a part of. And I'm okay with that. I was not asked to come to Thanksgiving or Christmas. I was told that I will be there. Why? I don't know. Then when I declined twice, things got ugly. Thank you all for all your replies and support. NTA. I feel like it would interest her to know the real saying, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Bonds formed by choice run deeper than those by relation. Edit to add, this is apparently not actually the true saying. My apologies for misinformation. Thank you to the commenters who let me know I was wrong. That's not, like, the real version of the quote, FYI. The original quote is the one we're all used to, with the meaning that blood relationships are more important than other ones. The blood of the covenant version was just made up a couple years ago, seemingly out of nowhere. Much better meaning, of course, but it isn't the real saying at all. Neither is that one, technically. There isn't any definitive timeline about which saying predates the other, so ultimately they are both correct and incorrect. Welcome to Schrödinger's phrase. Well. Okay, there's never definitive proof that a phrase didn't exist before a certain time, but we have the phrase blood is thicker than water documented from at least the 1700s, in writing, with the meaning that familial ties supersede other relationships, or possibly distance-like. Familial ties persist even across bodies of water, that is, across the ocean or whatever, while the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb was not written down anywhere until a couple years ago. I found a on the subject that's got the citations tucked neatly together, for anyone curious. It's pulling from the Oxford English Dictionary, among other sources. Web link. I appreciate that you don't blindly fall into the hodgepodge of Schrödinger's phrase. Just because you don't know the answer doesn't mean that you can make it up. Just because you don't know the answer doesn't mean that you can make it up. Excuse me, sir, but this is the internet. Schrödinger's internet. Everything is true and false. Every false takes breath from truth. Basically, everything that's ever been said bears a tiny bit of truth, because stories/tales etc. all come from inspiration of a real event, even if that event was seen by only one person, for 1 second, 10,000 years ago. Though that makes me think far too much into folklore and vampires/werewolf etc. You typed this response to one of the stupidest effing things I've ever uttered. How high are you? How high are you? Yes. If you haven't done so yet, check out the podcast Lore and Cabinet of Curiosities. It examines folklore and the real history much of it is drawn from. Still creepy as hell sometimes, but often super insightful. This is the US election 2020 summed up perfectly. As I understand it, it's technically more like a superposition of everything being simultaneously both true and false. Until you open Reddit. Then it all just collapses in on itself. Wow, I feel like I've seen this saying so many times on Am I the Butthole this week. Yeah, Redditors love it, but it's definitely not some kind of historical wisdom. I can really see why people would like it. I don't talk to most of my family myself. But I feel like we could just, I don't know, leave the whole phrase behind and move on with our society, instead of trying to historically turn the phrase into a good thing. We can just stop using it. We don't have to make unsupported claims about it originally having some other meaning. Truly. I've seen other people post that the phrase only got popular on Reddit just a few years ago after it came up somehow. Then after it kind of spiraled and got picked up by random fluff journalists who were touting it as the original saying. It really got out of control. Although not blood-related, I love Richard Bach's saying, the bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. Rarely do members of one family grow up under the same roof. Edit, it is blood-related, it's not womb-related. Laughing out loud, I was almost falling asleep when I commented. Okay, that one is actually lovely. Blood is thicker than water, but harder to sell. There's a definitive timeline in that the first known occurrence of the second part comes several centuries after records of simply blood is thicker than water. Sure, there might be a piece of parchment somewhere that's even older that talks the covenant, but if you can't produce it, well, why the F assert it exists? Yeah, except, not. There's plenty of evidence for when both phrases surfaced, that's already been posted. Whatever it means, it's a saying. If her sister cites a dumb saying to justify why original post should hang out with her, instead of say, years and years of goodwill and loving interactions, I say she has bigger problems. Yes, there is. The new saying was created in 1994. The original phrase dates back to the 1700s. One absolutely predates the other. NTA, the last paragraph made me bust out laughing. No, you're not the butthole. She lost the ability to call you family when she abandoned you with the rest of them. Literally laughing out loud at the last paragraph. Your NTA, op. Enjoy your pajama Thanksgiving. Frankly, it's the best way to spend the holidays. You and your sailor husband, what? Original post said he was a seaman, are welcome at my House of Misfit Toys holiday table any old time. Edit, wow, thank you for all the upvotes. I had no idea there were so many ocean lovers on this sub. Definitely knew about the misfits and dark/dad humorists. That's why I'm here too, years in peril on the sea, G_A. Edit, scrolled 10 seconds down, that phrase was debunked. F me, please ignore this comment. And what's funny is that I think the actual proverb is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So original post is totally covered. That's a modern myth. It's historically blood is thicker than water. Web link. I edited the comment seconds after posting it. I also don't know about you guys, but I didn't enter a blood covenant with any of my friends. Maybe I should. I don't know, man. If original post was 15 when he got kicked out by his parents, I can't say the younger sister abandoned original post like the parents did. Without more info, I'm not going to call the sister a butthole for wanting to fix their relationship. Maybe not abandoned, but certainly was awful with both their father's death and their mother's illness. To dare to tell original post when to get over things tells me that the sister is NTA op, and you're the smarter one by staying home during a pandemic, especially with someone you love. Thank you for the laugh, too. NTA op, depending on sister's age, she had many years to make contact before she did. Or to make it clear, she didn't think original post should be thrown out for being gay. She didn't do crap for 20 years and then shows up, no apology, just wants to sweep everything under the rug and play happy families? Nope, original post is well within his right to protect himself emotionally from people like that. Her trying to use family to manipulate original post is enough to label her an butthole in my opinion. Especially her trying to say it makes her and other relatives more important than Op's husband. That part made it sound like they feel Op's husband is keeping him away or that original post is picking his husband over them. Which to me makes it clear the sister isn't admitting how bad the past was but instead shifting the blame. And that maybe Op's husband hasn't been treated with a warm family welcome despite being family now too. I'd be more inclined to agree if she didn't yell at / pressure original post and also had a past history of doing so. Some things just aren't fixable, especially if you try to force it. Sister is being unsympathetic of his betrayal by his so-called family. Coming from a family with a lot of skeletons in the closet, it's possible little sister was never fully informed of what happened, how it happened, why it happened. Based on the words of Op, seems like his sister didn't reach out till dad died at age 35. His sister went along with the abandonment and didn't bother to reach out for 20 years. If she had wanted to fix the relationship, then why didn't she bother in those 20 years, hell 10 years even? I would agree if it hadn't gone on for 20 years. She sided with her family well into adulthood and didn't try to make amends until after the dad died. Even then she's copping a crafty attitude and the issue is all on Op. She's definitely the butthole. NTA, me too. That was the belly laugh I needed today. Original post, you sound like a legend. Enjoy your night with your husband who is lucky to have a partner such quick wit. Wait, what did that guy say? His comment was removed. But original post not the butthole. The guy said that he was the ass because he didn't consider their culture and wasn't sensitive to their beliefs. Bull crap. NTA. I hate when people use family to manipulate people into doing what they want. Family means nothing without the actions to back it up. Kicking a kid out at 15 is pretty unforgivable if you ask me, so you owe them literally nothing. Well done for standing up for yourself, and I'm howling at your final line, so good. We must try and bridge the gap and move forward in a positive way, she says as she hides the gasoline and matchbox. The nerve of some people. I mean, I think it's reasonable when the family isn't crafty. F this family though. NTA. With a good family, though, there's no need for manipulation. If I get asked to do something, like spend a week helping someone recuperate after surgery, I say yes if I can, no whining needed, because these people have had my back for decades. There's give and take in all good relationships. If someone is just focused on taking and has to remind someone else about family when the other stops giving, then it's a bad relationship, full stop. Exactly. I have a good relationship with my brother. I would want to see him for holidays. If I didn't, him yelling family would change nothing. He's not my family because we're blood, he's my family because we grew up together and played together and because he did things to help me out and I did the same. Family is built. Family is built. This is such an important concept that too many people don't realize. How many Am I the Butthole posts about step families could be resolved if everybody took the time to build relationships instead of jumping right to family? Yeah, I get that that's different, although I still feel some reasoning as to why you would like people to do things as good rather than just because family, you know? But agreed. F this family. A good family acts upon that statement without having to state it. It's like the whole nice guy thing. If you need to tell people you're a nice person, you're not a nice person. Why is she so desperate to have you come to the holidays during a pandemic? They need money? NTA, I am crying at your parting shot to her. You're totally within your rights to tell these strangers to step off. It's like victim blaming. Don't be mad at original post because their family disowned them. And then don't pull the family obligations card. You're totally right. The fact that some people think that way is effed up. Original post NTA. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.